Super Ninja Boy is an interesting little gem. Developed by Culture Brain, the series has lived in obscurity for a very long time and will probably remain that way forever. Very few people even really know this game, never mind acknowledge it. It stars two identical twins, Jack and Ryu, who are martial arts masters who train hard to protect their home Chinaland and the rest of the universe using Kung Fu. Which is pretty badass, I guess. The Japanese version is called Super Chinese World, and is far different from the version that we got here in the West. For one, the graphics and even gameplay are much different. Now, because of the game's obscurity, unfortunately there's no translation of Super Chinese World, so I can't exactly get into details. Now, the Super Chinese series is actually kind of a big deal. It spanned 15 years, between 1984 and 1999. However, we only got 2 games for NES and 1 for SNES before they gave up on it out here. Even back then, the name Super Ninja Boy has sort of bothered me. There are 2 main characters for one, so boys should be plural. Not to mention, the concept of ninja is Japanese, but they use Kung Fu, which is Chinese, but whatever. The game is really fun. The game is a weird hybrid of genres all in one game. The Overworld is a large map with a very similar style to Final Fantasy IV. In the Overworld and in dungeons, random battles pop up very, very, very frequently. Like every other JRPG at the time, but a little worse. But instead of a turn-based RPG battle, the random battles are Double Dragon-style beat-em-ups. The gameplay is pretty simple, but fun. Where the game really shines, however, is in 2-player mode, where you and a partner can play as both twins and kick some ass. I felt it was fitting that the partner I chose to help me get the footage for this video was my very own brother. After all, this is our jam. Occasionally, Jack and Ryu come across some training sessions, which are pretty much platforming levels and are usually rewarded with a new magic spell, which I guess they could have called ninjutsu to go along with the whole ninja thing, but I digress. Part of the fun is working together, trying not to kill each other, or getting disorientated by the characters moving at the same time. Wow, damn, I'm rusty at this. Why the hell is Chris still better at this than I am? Damn it. The boss battles are turn-based RPG style that rely on doing a little bit, but not too much level grinding. These battles require a fair bit of strategy, as the hit ratio for both brothers and the bosses are very random. So you have to take this into account and plan ahead just in case your move fails. Level grinding isn't too much of an issue as long as you try to fight monsters that offer you decent XP and skip the cheapskates. Unfortunately, my brother had to leave in the middle of filming the gameplay, so that slowed me down a little bit. The encounters throw more baddies at you in 2P, thus giving you more XP per battle, proving that this game truly is at its best in 2-player mode. Still, it's more than playable in 1-player mode. I did come across a little trouble with General Conk here. What the hell? 2 hits? Seriously? You mean I need to travel all through the platforming area again? Alright, bud. This time, I got a strategy. Time to use my decoy. What? As you progress through the game, you gain vehicles, which give you more access to the world map, little by little, until you get a giant freaking robot! Yeah, it takes you to the final area. The graphics in this game are mixed. I'm having a hard time determining if the graphics are good or bad. The overworld looks good for the time, and it does have a cute art style. But most of the cutscenes are text with tiny little illustrations. The music also seems to have this weird echo to it for some reason, almost like they compressed it a little too much. This game probably could have fit on an NES cartridge, which may or may not be what it originally was supposed to be. I just sort of feel like the game underutilizes the SNES's power, especially given the fact that it uses a freaking password system instead of a battery backup. While the music doesn't sound particularly good, it has varying themes for every town you visit. It even changes the overworld theme when you reach certain milestones in the game, which would make my brother and I look at each other and nod approvingly at our progress. The soundtrack ranges from catchy little ditties to downright annoying. My personal favorite is the music that plays in the rainforest. The story might as well be non-existent. The bad guys are known as garlands, which are dicks and don't want peace, so they're constantly in the way of peace. Basically, it's a story straight out of a Super Sentai-like show. As a kid, I ate it up. Take it for what it is. In fact, what little I know of the other installments, it sort of becomes a Super Sentai-like space adventure later on. Seriously, why the hell couldn't this catch on? That would have been awesome. Even though this game is approaching its 30th birthday, and is far from a classic in the eyes of others, in my eyes, this game is a classic. For the sake of filming this video, and playing it again was a real treat, and more enjoyable than I thought it would be. If Nintendo were to ever re-release this on the Super Nintendo Online channel, or it gets an official re-release somewhere else, I highly recommend you give this little gem a try. Well, thank you for joining me in this little flashback from my childhood. This was a lot of fun. You all have yourselves a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!